It's time for the Drink O'Clock podcast. Talking to esports and streamer personalities from around the world. So pour yourself a stiff one, sit back and relax, and let's get to it. And now, here's your host, Rob Max ABV Valencius.
Let's go. Start.
Yeah, we have the lovely countdown. Oh shit, bro. Oh, I need to see a chiropractor. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's recording.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're official.
Yeah,
now.
no, we're on. We're absolutely on. I didn't see a countdown.
Yeah.
Leave this all in.
I had it.
Leave it all in.
I had the I think it gave a 14-second countdown, which I don't know if it's ever done before.
It's probably like a stand down time. We have to. Yeah, no, never mind. I won't go in.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like this is gonna be a long one because me and you love to talk. But episode 3 of the Drink O'Clock podcast is a good friend of mine, Ryan Leftovermeme McDonough. Welcome to the show, brother.
I have never been referred to as that, and I don't hate it. It started as such a big fucking joke. But yeah, sure. Yeah, hey, I'm Ryan McDonough. What's up?
Well, welcome to the podcast,
It's been a
brother.
while.
So as you know, this is a drinking aloud type of podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I always like to say this. There's no PC shit here, so you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's my podcast. I don't give a shit.
Listen.
Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion's my opinion, and that's how we're gonna live it. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
So I don't know if you can see the frost on this motherfucker. But we're gonna do shots of Fireball on my end. What you got over there?
What do we got? Pennsylvania's own Blue Coat gin. And I won't
Nice.
I won't be taking a shot. I'll be pouring it over some a little bit of tonic. But I got one of these.
Hey, man.
I got one of these for Rob too. If anyone can see.
The donkey. If you're listening through audio, he's got a donkey. He's got a donkey
I'm
conga.
getting used to the camera, so.
So I figured this would be appropriate. I whipped out the Las Vegas shot glass for this. So
I'll make this a double. Double it up.
oh, please double
it
it
up.
up. I'm gonna take another shot at some point throughout this, but I always figure it's good to wet the whistle. So to say, you know. Ooh, I like that. That's a good pour. Good pour, man. So
There's not a lot of room in this glass. I just realized that.
so,
Jeez.
Ryan, before we get into the story time, I've known Ryan for, geez, dude. When did I meet you? 2004?
Yeah. No.
18.
Yeah, we were 18 19.
years?
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So we're gonna go into how I met you and what you looked like at the time because I think it's fucking hilarious. But cheers, brother.
Sláinte, ciao, all that fun stuff. Oh, here. Get on the camera here. Oh, that is a ginny beverage.
I'm gonna chase it down with my traditional Bud Light.
When did you become a Bud Light man?
So this is their new Bud Light. It's zero. It's the only beer that has alcohol content and 0 carbs. 80 calories.
So it's like not
4%.
Okay, hey,
it's 4%.
Yeah. That's
It's just as strong as a regular Bud Light.
That's an adult soda right there. Adult diet
so,
soda.
I like to call it beer water, but it still tastes good.
Exactly what it is, actually.
And I don't feel like a fat piece of shit when I have 17 of them.
Yeah.
And I've noticed. So I actually brought a secondary backup because I noticed that I like to drink a lot as I'm doing this. Yeah. So, but anyway, let's go back to our origin story. I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's gonna really present context of how we're degenerates.
So I met Ryan. We were both working. Were you working for GameStop at that time?
I was.
You were,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I've been working. I worked. Actually, GameStop was like my first like full-time job, but
Yeah.
I started working there when I was like 16. I want to say. Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school when I started working there.
Yeah. So you were working for Mike,
Yeah, in Devon,
right?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, in Devon, Pennsylvania. So I met Ryan one day. I worked for his former manager. He actually got moved out, and he took over for my manager from where I was, and I was what they call SGA, so a senior game advisor. And Ryan walks in, and he walks in with one of my other best friends, Jeff, and Ryan's best friend. And so at the time, I'm a little bit more skater oriented.
Yeah.
So let me paint the picture for you. I had a popped collar.
I remember now.
I look back at myself and I go,
Yeah,
what the fuck were you
Well, wait
doing,
till he
bro?
describes me.
Yeah. I had a faux hawk.
Mm.
And,
Solid choice.
and I was an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So in comes these two guys. Jeff, how tall is Jeff? 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5", somewhere in there. And he's like, he's not just like a skinny 6'4", 6'5". He's like,
No.
he's a 300.
I like to say
Yeah.
I'd like to say burly is a good adjective.
Burly is a good adjective because it's not all muscle, but it's enough muscle.
And he has this giant blue mohawk.
That's right, it was blue.
It was a blue mohawk.
It was glorious too. It was straight. It
was a fucking amazing punk blue.
Straight trashed up punk fucking like. If you didn't know any better, you think it was like be full of egg whites and was just like magic marker or something. But no, you actually had it dyed.
And he had the boots on that you would picture him stomping the shit out of somebody, like the mid shin boots, you know.
Waffle print, jump boots. Yeah, by Doc Martin. They were fucking great.
Never met him before. He walks in. Ryan walks in behind him. You probably can't tell now because we're both balding somewhat. Yeah. Ryan's got this pinned back ponytail that goes all the way down his fucking back.
Yeah.
So picture in your head, anyone listening, to these three people in a room together. You got a douchebag guy with a faux hawk and a popped collar. You got a pop punk guy with a blue mohawk that's 6'4", and you got my buddy Ryan here who looks like he's straight out of like a Willie Nelson concert.
Yeah.
But he's got his fucking red hair. You have the longest red-haired ponytail I've ever seen in my life.
That time it was like it's gotten really sun damaged over the years, but it was like the color of my beard red. It was bright fucking red.
Oh, yeah. Bright red.
It was alarmingly red.
And then you have Mike, our former boss. I wonder how he's doing, dude. I love that guy.
I was literally about to ask that question. I saw him pop up on Snapchat, and I was like, I'm not messing with him.
But he used to, dude, I don't know what he did to you guys, but I remember that we would get bored sometimes, and he'd make these paper clip bow and arrows.
Yeah, and
he would unfold that shit, put a rubber band, pull it back, and I'd just be sitting there, and I'd feel this poof, and I'm like, ow, what the fuck? And I'd look, and there'd be a paper clip sticking out of my arm. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, and I'm like, Mike, what are you doing, bro? You're shit. And then you'd look up, and there'd just be all these paper clips in the ceiling.
Every store he was in was like that. The one time, it was him and Johnny. And
fucking Johnny, man. I miss Johnny.
He hooked the fucking, I don't know if it was him or Johnny, because I still swear to God I have like nerve damage in my eyes from this. He fucking hooked one of those old gaming DVD cases, and it like did this like big arc, and then nailed me right in the fucking middle of my forehead. I swear to God, I thought I got shot. Like, cause all I heard was bam, and I was just like, and it was blind, completely blind for like 3 minutes.
I forgot about that. Do you remember? I think he would make samurai stars out of DVD boxes.
Yeah,
and he could throw them so hard that it would break other DVD boxes.
He used to be able to stick them in that slat wall every 90s and 2000 GameStop was made out of, which was tough stuff. Yeah. Like,
dude,
it was tough. Like, if
legit,
if you like got pulled over now and a cop's like, "What the fuck is this?" You'd be going.
You have a fucking weapon of mass destruction in your car, sir.
Mass destruction, but it's certainly.
Dude, so GameStop, I met some of my best friends from there, man. And when I met you guys, that was before the GameStop EB merger, right? So they were still competitors. And then, GameStop was super cheap.
Yeah.
And I mean to the point where we were still using DOS as our cash register. So it would take I could finish a transaction 5 minutes before it would finish. Yeah. I would just be like, and it'd be done, but I'd have to wait for the register to catch up with me. Yeah. You couldn't look up game reservations with accuracy because they would be a day behind. Uh-huh. And eventually it got to the point where it was so bad, they're like, all right, let's buy EB Games and use them for their technology because it would be cheaper to just buy and merge with them than to create our own technology, which was a smart move.
Right, and it worked out in there. Well, kind of.
It worked. Now it's a little different story.
For a while, but the thing you have to remember is this is the proto internet as we know it. MySpace is a thing still, and it's very popular. And it looked like dipshit fucking Facebook wasn't going to take off because who the fuck makes a social media platform for just college?
For college only kids. Yeah.
So, these are the times we live in, and these companies.
It's funny. It's crazy you say that. It's crazy you say that because I'll never forget. I was with a friend of mine, and we were getting ready to go out with a couple other people. This is when I was living in King of Prussia at the time, and we were going out to see the movie Anchorman 1 in the theater. And he's like, dude, you got to check this shit out. I just made a Facebook, and it's for college kids. And I'm talking to all these girls, man. It's fucking legit. And I'm like, he was like 21, 22.
Oh, yeah.
And I was probably right around the same age. Or maybe he was 23, 24, and I was 21, 22. And I'm like, nah, bro, fuck that. I'm never making that shit. MySpace is the shit. Do you remember that shit, dude? Back in the day, you'd have your top 8 or top 10, I think it was top 8.
Yeah.
And if someone removed you from your top 8, you didn't exist anymore, bro.
Yeah. You're just like, yo, fuck you. You're dead to me.
It was
such an arbitrary number. It's like 8. Okay. Why?
Yeah. Why do I have to have top 8? So if you weren't number 1, were you really a best friend at that time?
I wonder if they were gathering metrics on that kind of stuff. To find out who
they had to.
Yeah, I bet you they were.
They had to. I mean, me and my ex, whom you know, that was when we were dating and Facebook was big, or MySpace was big. And I'll never forget, she took me off her top 8, or I took her off my top 8. And it was a big thing.
Yeah, well, it's before Internet Official was a thing too.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Look at us talking about with
dude, it's wild, right? I mean, think about how far we've come.
Yeah. Also, fun fact before we go on, me and Rob are the exact same age. We have a 7-day difference to the minute. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us do, right? I mean, it's me, you, and our buddy Wills.
Yeah, you're on the 17th. I'm on the 24th. And
Wills is the 31st.
Wasn't Wills a year younger than us? No, he was the same age as us too. That's
we would all celebrate our birthdays back to back.
We do it on we do the big one always on my day because it was in the middle, and we just get absolutely fucking annihilated. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Speaking of that gets into my next topic. So we've had some great drinking experiences together,
and some.
I want you to talk to the audience and people that are gonna eventually listen to this about Zombie Night.
Oh God! All right,
dude. Listen to this. So I haven't thought about this night.
I never wanted to think about this
for years, and then this morning I'm like, what do I bring up? Because I'm trying to think of things, and I was like, holy shit, Zombie Night. Why not? It was a perfect example of us being fucking dumb kids and making a terrible decision based on the price of alcohol.
Oh yeah. So,
but hold on, before you go into this, excellent marketing by Bacardi.
Oh yeah. The timing was
excellent marketing.
Perfect. The timing was perfect. So, for all of you that don't know, Bacardi, do they still make 151 rum? I don't think so.
If they do, they're assholes.
So I really don't think they do, specifically because we almost all died. Real talk, ladies and gentlemen. don't
don't drink Bacardi.
Do this.
151.
Yeah. So they used to have 151, and what they would do is they'd take like the extra runs of it, so it's already not like great quality liquor, and then they'd make pre-made cocktails out of it. But the pre-made cocktails would be like the strength of like regular fucking liquor, and they don't say that. Like it's just like, oh hey, it's a pre-mixed cocktail. Be careful about that. So they made like I know there was what a rum drink,
like margaritas and
but there was one that was that was called Zombie.
It was blue. That's going to be very important.
Yeah, it will be extremely important. I'll tell you for a couple of reasons. But first off, so Zombie is just like an amalgamation of a bunch of bullshit that they had lying around, and then they made it sweet and they dyed it blue. So it's got sugar. It has way too much alcohol, and it was $7.95 a bottle. And not talking a regular bottle. I'm talking like
like a liter.
It was like a fifth. No, it was more than a fifth. It was. I know they were handles.
They were handles
because we bought like a whole shitload of them,
and they were delicious.
They were really.
It tasted really good.
They were really good. So we're like, oh, we drank them one night and nothing happened. We're like, oh, let's just get this for the party next week. It's gonna be fucking great. So we got Bacardi 151 Zombies and Lion's Head.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've ever had Lion's Head, but it's I think it's made in Wilkes-Barre, like Buy Me Now. Like they still make it. It's around. But it's just it was a $10 case of beer in 2004. And guess what?
It's not good.
And guess what? It's still $10 today. Inflation
with inflation
doesn't affect it. It's phenomenal. I think it's probably like 15. So someone will comment on this like, "Yo, fuck that Ryan guy. He's wrong." I went to the store.
Yeah, Lion's Head is delicious.
No, I didn't say so. Somebody said it was $10 and gets me fucked up. I don't know how much it is because I haven't touched Lion's Head actually since this evening. So what we end up doing is doing what everyone in their late teens, early 20s, consuming to the point of like horrific excess. And it was one of those drinks that snuck up on you, so you were completely fine, completely level, completely fine, and then just hitting the floor.
But you know what? I think it really lived up to its name. And I avoided the amount of drunkenness that you guys ended up getting on because I had a friend of mine with me and I had to drive her home.
Yeah.
So I could drink, I just couldn't get like blasted.
White girl.
And got it. Yeah. So go ahead, sorry.
No, you're fine. So, all right. The reason Zombie did so well because it's 2004, right? What comes out in 2004? They redid all the George Romero zombie movies. So Night of the Living, no, was it Dawn of the Dead came out?
Dawn of the Dead, and it was really good. That was actually a really good remake.
If I had to pick one, that's the best one. So the zombie fucking apocalypse is coming, and social media is starting to bud, and everybody wants to, fucking do zombie shit. So a drink that would normally be brown, they dyed it so much it's iridescent blue green now because zombies. Why not? That's why not dangerous. Why the fuck not? So us being a bunch of retards, I mean, and not having any money, we just don't eat all day and start consuming this. I contract alcohol poisoning by 7 p.m. And we were at my house, weren't we?
We were at your place.
Yeah.
This guy is literally like picture The Exorcist, but instead of green vomit, it's blue.
I was in the bathtub.
Didn't you vomit so bad in your bedroom that like you were never able to get some of it out?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was like on the walls and shit, and it stained everything. Something with how it interacted with your stomach acids would just destroy paint.
But you know what? The crazy part is you didn't get the drunkest.
No,
our buddy Jeff.
Oh my God, but Jeff.
And this is the probably the most drunk I've ever seen Jeff in my life. And this guy, hold on, to put this in perspective, right?
Yeah.
This guy can drink.
He can, yeah.
He is not a lightweight.
And to be fair, so can I. Like
true.
I am one spicy Irishman, and I can consume.
Yeah, I mean we all can, right?
Jeff
Cheers.
is just this 6'5", 300-pound German
anomaly,
cut jaw, fucking like underbite, like just like it. If it had been a different time, this guy's like one-handed an MG42, fucking smoking American soldiers in the middle of World War II.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, absolutely.
No egg underneath it. And fucking destroying people with that fucking thing.
You're seeing this guy, you're running the other way. Like, but by the way, Jeff is like the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. I equate him to like the person I know. Well, actually, you, him, and Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy Carl. I consider you three out of pretty much all of my friends. Like, if I absolutely end game needed somebody, I know that I could always pick up the phone and call you guys.
The four of us, like, I'm like, I got to bury this fucking body. Two of you show up.
We would be there.
Jeff
absolutely.
Jeff lives quite a distance away now, and he'd be there the next morning to help us, get rid of the evidence or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just going very wrong.
It's so bad.
It's completely downhill from there. And poor Jeff is seeing me and a friend of mine named Matt and his brother. Matt's puking into one of my frying pans.
As he's in your recliner, with a bowl.
Yeah. Just puking into it. Yeah. And then there's 3 or 4 other people are completely trashed. And Jeff's there, he got there late. And he's fist in the bottom. And he's like, what the fuck's wrong with them? Not putting 2 and 2 together. Literally 20 minutes later, all I hear, and I am dead drunk at this point in time, about to be passed out. All I hear is smash, and he fucking knocked over my toolbox down in the little sunroom we had.
Yeah, you might not have been awake for this, but he was actually out. We were trying to corral him. He's out in the yard, running around in circles, saying he doesn't want to leave, and he's throwing fists, but he's not trying to hit any of us. He just doesn't want any of us to come near him because he wants to stay and drink more. And we're like, Jeff, you need to stop. You need to stop because look, do you see what's happening to everyone else? I don't know what the fuck they put in that shit, dude. But it still, to this day, I've never seen so many people get sick and obliterated so fast.
It was just fucking pedal to the metal. Ridiculous. It was out of control.
We're 36. Yeah, I remember that night like it was yesterday.
Yeah, how do you... Well, I remember a portion of that night like it was yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. And I feel bad because, me, I forget who else was with me, but we kept trying to get you to sleep with, the fat girl at the party.
Pictures of that. There's pictures of that somewhere.
We're like, yeah, just do it, man. We're like, yeah, just do it, bro. You're fine. You're good. Just do it, man. Just do it. And this is what we did to each other at all times then.
Hold on. Hold on. I wonder if this is... Because I was a Facebook guy. I was a Facebook guy from the start. Let me see.
While he's looking for that too.
Look familiar?
The glare is tough.
Killing me.
Holy shit.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the only one I have. That's that night, though.
Oh, dude, that night was... I'm telling you, it still scares me to this day. I actually, since that day, have never purchased a pre-made alcoholic beverage.
I won't do it.
Ever.
No, absolutely not. Fuck that.
You really don't know what the fuck they're putting in.
Yeah,
shit,
and
even
I drink a seltzer every once in a while, but Seagrams, I won't drink Seagrams.
Oh, no.
Because it's something about the sweetener too. The sweetener fucks my day up real bad, and it just tastes like it. And just to Bacardi's point, they not only removed those from the market shortly after these incidents, but then they removed the base liquor it was made out of, because they're like,
because it was fucking killing people.
Yeah, of course it was cheap, easy to consume. Like, that was the whole point of it. And
figures my headset is dying, by the way.
okay,
Hold on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm supposed to be the host. I'm supposed to think of this shit.
Yeah.
And I just kind of I don't. So
It's all right.
But that's one of the nice things about having a SteelSeries amazing headset, in that it comes with a backup battery that plugs into the fucking base, and it is probably one of the best purchases I ever made. Not sponsored by them, but I should be.
Is this a commercial? Am I in a commercial? Can I drink in this commercial? Can I drive this commercial drunk?
So, like, dude, it's so funny because I consider you one of my best friends, man. So we have so many memories. So, like, as I'm talking to you, other shit just pops in my head. Like, when we were working at GameStop, we would play the penis game. Do you remember that?
Christ.
So
yeah, I do. Actually,
it would be like 8:15 in the morning. We open up at what, 9?
Yeah.
And we would just be working on the store, and so to put it in perspective, in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, it's one of the biggest malls in the country. I think it's the second biggest mall in the country.
I think it's third.
Next to Mall of America,
now.
right?
The one in New Jersey that just opened up is bigger.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, they would have mall walkers and other mall employees or whatever, and we would sit there and we would do all our shit, and we get bored, so we would play penis. If you've ever played the penis game, you start out by whispering the word penis, and then the other person has to say penis louder, and to the point where you're screaming the word penis. And we would fuck with so many people, especially the mall walkers, because it was older people, you know.
Yeah.
But really, we fucked with the guy from across the hall at Haagen-Dazs who looked like Dave Coulier from Full House, who was definitely a pedophile, 100%.
Yeah, he would pick up the way too young ladies.
Like he'd have like a 16-year-old girl that was working for him,
he was like,
and you'd see him have like his hand on the small of their back, and we're like, dude, what the fuck? Should we call like SVU? You know,
Child Protective Services. Like, can I send them to Haagen-Dazs?
Like, hey, we need you. Like, hey, we need you to go to Haagen-Dazs. There's a lot of extra syrup, and it's not okay.
Yeah, you guys just say less king, and then hangs up the phone and just goes and gets a milkshake.
And then there'd be times it'd be like in the middle of the day, and it'd be super fucking busy, and we would just take random shit and throw it at the people at Haagen-Dazs. And then they would do the same thing to us.
Yeah.
You know, we'd take like fucking paperclip or rubber band balls that we made and just fucking chuck it. You know, do you remember?
Somebody went, because I was upstairs for a while. Somebody went up there and like shot a Nerf dart directly into my store, hit me in the side of the head, and I'm pretty sure it was that guy. Yeah,
dude. But we met so many, just like crazy fucking people.
Yeah, you have to be pretty obscenely crazy to work at that fucking mall.
I'll never forget. So I'm pretty sure it was one of the mall workers that like cleaned up or whatever. And I guess she would have her son come with her. And I don't know if you remember this, but
Nacho.
It is Nacho. So we codenamed this kid Nacho.
Yeah.
And we would just be sitting there, and the kid was probably, what, 6?
Yeah.
7?
And he would come into that fucking store every day, destroying like a big old bag of fucking nacho flavored Doritos.
Yeah. And then he'd try to pretend like he's buying shit, and he was so small or short that you didn't know that he was there, and you just see him put a game on the counter, and he'd be like, eh. And he put the game on the counter. You're like, no, Nacho, you can't have that. Your mom's not here. It's an R-rated, like, it's an M-rated game. You can't have it. And he's like, eh. And I'm like, no, Nacho, you get the fuck out, Nacho.
He had like a developmental thing, right? Because he wouldn't talk. And he was definitely talking age.
Yeah, he didn't talk. He just grunted a lot.
Yeah.
You know? So communication was not very easy. And this is back when we had the kiosks and shit for Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Back when you could fucking jam out, before COVID. And you could fucking jam out with Guitar Hero. And they were in like, do you remember they were in like plastic containers and shit so people couldn't steal them?
Right. the fucking Mario Kart one. Remember when the
Yeah.
Wii came out? People would offer to buy it all the time. It'd be like, yo, $300. The Wii's worth $200, and I'd be like, yo, man, like, $300 isn't gonna pay my rent. You have to offer me way more to sell you that Wii. And he's like, $500. I'm like, you don't seem to get that. That doesn't even cover my rent now. He's like, well, how much you want for it? I was like, it's $8,000, and I'll take that out. And the guy, dude, he thought about it. He fucking thought about it. That guy thought about it, because I would have just, if he showed up with $8,000 cash, I would have sold him that way. I'd just be like, here you go. Here's the promotional shit. Here, I have like 8 or 9 fucking Wii controllers too. Knock yourself out.
Think about that shit, dude. The Wii was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, still to this day. I mean, we would have like people camp out for the UPS guy.
I did that for the PS3, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're talking like not like. So, to put it in perspective, right? We had a lot of, like, when I first started with GameStop, it was a lot of hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much as the moms and dads and grandmoms, whatever. When the Wii was introduced, it introduced a whole. I mean, Nintendo must have made fucking billions of dollars.
Yeah, they absolutely.
And because of that, they put GameStop on an unparalleled level of just profit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for one, GameStop typically made all their profit from what? Used games.
Correct.
And accessories.
Yep.
And with the Wii, you always had to have a remote and a nunchuck.
Yep.
For almost everything.
And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, that's where they made all their money.
Well,
so that brought in all of the fucking families and kids and people that never shopped in GameStop, have grandmoms.
Yep.
And it just took us to so much of a different place, to the point where I actually kind of I hated it.
Yeah.
I love the classic gamer, but the fucking families, they didn't understand
the Funko Land
a lot of
gamer.
things. Oh
The
my
Funko
god,
Land.
dude!
But to your
Fucking
point,
Funko Land.
and this is something GameStop would always do. So Nintendo games, 20% of Nintendo games are always AAA titles, right? And the ones you fucking want, because there's definitely like a class divide. You got your S tier Mario Kart, and then you got your fucking whatever bullshit Nickelodeon
Crash Bandicoot Racing.
it was all right. I like Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. Would I play it? Yeah. Let me take a bong rip first, and then I'll play it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the games that everybody wanted, GameStop knew. They knew you could hose
price gouge.
Yeah, you could hose the shit out of the 10-year-old coming in trying to get the new Zelda. So they're selling the Mario Karts and the Super Smash Brothers and all that shit, and they're like, "Oh, I'll give you $10 for that." Oh, okay, cool, $10. All right, so you're getting 4 games, right? And then you're selling them for $5 less than retail.
Yeah.
With a 90-day warranty.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
It was wild. Especially with the used games and the profit that they made. I mean, dude, they got away with murder for years. And, like, I know a lot of people get pissed off about what they get from, like, oh, well, I traded in Madden 20 and I got $4. Yeah, well, guess what? They probably are never selling that copy that you traded in because no one buys old sport. We actually got to a certain point where we would just fucking break them and throw them away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were taking up unneeded space.
It used to be like you would remember when we used to bundle them all together?
Yeah, oh, do you want every Madden from the 20s?
Yeah. Hey, if you
$5.
If you spend $375, you can have these 30 copies of FIFA. Get them out of here.
Yeah, you like soccer? Yeah. You can have them all. You can have a decade's worth of soccer.
But then that created another problem where you had to distro them to other places they would sell, maybe. And it would just consume so much of your day because you get all these things. And it worked for the company because it was great because they didn't need distribution points. They were just sending them fucking store to store. But on the other hand, it takes you 3 hours to do that shit. And you're supposed to meet sales goals. And you're making $6.75 an hour.
Well, and if you're a store manager, I know they don't do this anymore because they're hourly now. But at the time, store managers were salary. And I mean, I
didn't know that.
I don't know if you can see all the fucking gray hair I have, but it's from GameStop. hands down.
Yeah.
Because I was working at one point 70 hours a week. I was doing I was kind of like a area manager.
Yeah, you
so
had
I'd
a
run
couple
like
stores.
3 stores.
Yeah, something like that. Right?
And I'd have to do all the hiring.
Yeah.
I'd have to work at both stores physically. And it got to a point where it was just like, and I'll never forget, and you probably remember this day on your own, but for me, I'll never forget the day that I wanted to leave again. So I left 2 or 3 different times. Carl always bought me back because
that's what
he wanted me to work with him. But the final time was I was working at a mall store. It was super busy. I had my district manager pull me out of the store, walk me across, and be like, "What's wrong with this picture?" And in my head, I'm like, "Well, I have a store full of people. I have a lonely little part-time employee trying to help everybody, and you have me looking at the front of my store."
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything. And she's like, "Your signs are crooked." And if you're watching the video, my sign was crooked by like half an inch.
Yeah.
Like really not noticeable. And she's like, "You have a dust bunny on the left side." And I said to myself in my head, there is no fucking way that I'm going to continue to do this and grow because
you're not.
I will either kill somebody or myself.
Because the other fun part about that is, so like the next job is her job, and I bet you she never worked at GameStop before. I bet you they just hired somebody random because they would never promote from within beyond a certain point. And they would just shit on you and shit on you and shit on you until you're gone. And like, all right, cool, get the next nerd in here.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because they continue their culture other places. So most of the people that are friends of mine or that have worked with me left GameStop and work for Extra Space Storage.
Really?
Because a couple that like JR, I don't know if you remember JR.
Yeah.
He works for Extra Space.
Does he still work there?
Yeah, Ben Loomis.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were big-time, decent store managers that were going to move up, left, and were recruited by Extra Space. And, I feel like that's kind of sometimes how it goes,
Yeah.
But I would not work there now.
It's a shithole.
It's a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah, and they're losing stores like a lot, like real quick. So I think the one up by me is closing, to be perfectly honest. So.
Well, dude, they overexpanded.
It's not even just that. It's just that, like, all right, I want the new Halo game. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna download it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. And you know what? To be fair, they're the ones that really started that.
Yeah, and that they fucked themselves. Real hard, which is funny.
But they didn't adapt. It's like Radio Shack, right? Mm-hmm. I'll actually, I saw a TikTok the other day. And I'll let you respond, but they were talking about Blockbuster. And one of the Blockbuster, and someone could fact check me, I don't give a fuck, whatever. One of the Blockbuster executives went to the board and said, "Hey, this is before Netflix was big.
Yeah.
I think we need to start streaming movies." And they laughed at them.
Yeah.
They laughed at them. And you know why? Because 10% of the company's yearly revenue came from late fees from people not bringing their movies back. So they thought, instead of taking the 10% hit and innovating, they said, "No, fuck you." And they got to the streaming game so late that they had to fold their business.
I had Blockbuster Online when it came out, and it was awful. It was so bad. And it was.
I did as well.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Netflix was the same way.
Oh, Netflix is bad.
Their streaming movies were fucking awful.
But it was cheap.
Until they started. It was cheap.
Super cheap. It was like $5 or something. It was so inexpensive. And Blockbuster Online was like 20. And they had the same shit. They had the same fucking shit. And I don't know. It was trash. It was awful. And that story you just said was completely correct. Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Think about it.
There's still a Blockbuster in existence, by the way.
I thought they closed. I thought they're now a hotel. They're like an Airbnb or something crazy like that.
It's like in Alaska, isn't it?
Alaska or Washington or somewhere way up north.
Yeah, someone will correct us and be like,
well, in the year.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you, guy. Okay, so this is the part of the show.
You can say it.
This is the part of the show where I take another shot.
Oh yeah, sure. Hold on, let me take that. I'm just gonna.
Because you know why? Fireball goes down very easy.
I can't do Fireball anymore.
It's just it's an easy shotable drink. You know?
100%.
What's something I could buy a bottle of that's another easy shot? What do you think?
Like,
I'll do it for the next podcast.
What do you like? What kind of put me in a category?
Okay. Okay, so I'll drink just about anything if it tastes delicious.
What do you want to drink?
I don't care. The first podcast I did a shot of whiskey.
That's a terrible
and it's what I normally make my old fashions, but I want it to be cool.
Like
so
Sazerac or something. You wanted to be cool for all the kids out there.
Yeah. Well, I was like, you know what? It's a drinking podcast. I should probably take a shot. And cheers to start, right?
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
It was a bullet, just not rye, just regular bullet.
Regular ass bullet. Yeah, it's pretty. Like I've done it. I mean, by the way,
but we're old.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't do really shots.
The way
like
my GameStop journey ends is instead of continuing down my management career, I decided to join the army instead.
Which, you know what? Hold on. Let's take a shot to that.
Yeah.
Hey, to anyone that serves in the army, congratulations. Thank you for serving for us. And Ryan, are you?
I'm out.
You're not in anymore, right?
Yeah. Oh,
but
I'm in. Look at me.
But well, thank you for your service, and everybody that is in the armed forces. Thank you for your service. Let's take a shot to that. Whew.
Ooh. That went all the way to the bottom.
I'll never forget. So Ryan comes home from the army, and we have a party at our buddy's house in Wayne, Pennsylvania. When we get there, I see Ryan. I'm like, who the fuck is that? They're like, that's Ryan. I'm like,
yeah.
Ryan was like, what, 120 pounds, 130 pounds, soaking wet?
All right, so I went to basic training.
Yep.
And like I'm like a naturally bigger guy, so
yeah, we're chubsters. Yeah, you don't have to hide anything. We're chubsters.
But I wasn't like a built dude at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had body fat. So it was really easy to get rid of.
And we were young.
Yeah.
I mean, we were what, 25, 26? Even younger, probably.
No, I was 20.
Maybe 24.
I was 22 when I came back.
Okay.
Yeah, from basic and AIT. So, it was like 2008, 2009 when that all went down. And so I went to Fort Benning for basic training, and I went to Fort Sill for AIT. And in the middle of summer, so like my body fat percentage was just like gone. See you later. So I went in there at 245 pounds, and some internet fucking warrior would be like, "Oh, you could have never gotten there." It was the surge, dude. Like they were taking everybody. Like you could literally.
We also really enjoyed eating Wendy's.
Yeah, that was true. But I left AIT 162 pounds. And that was
he lost so much weight.
Yeah, it was
that I didn't notice him, and
wild.
I mean, I saw him almost every day.
Yeah, it was really wild.
And that night, dude, I'll never forget. So we have so many people at the house, and we run out of weed.
Yeah,
and Carl's like, "Bro, we need to get weed." So I'm like, "Yo, I'm sure I call my brother. He can get us weed." So we drive 30 minutes out of the way to go get fucking weed and come back, and like half the party had left because we didn't have any weed.
Of course, inconsiderate fuckers.
But speaking of weight, I that's the other story I forgot that I wanted to bring up before we get into some other stuff. Is, do you remember? So I don't remember what we were doing, but we were hungover as shit. So Ryan had to open upstairs GameStop. I had to open downstairs GameStop.
Yeah,
and
I do actually remember this. I do. How could I forget?
I like to call it Poopageddon.
Oh, it was so bad, dude. It was a bad time.
So was it Subway that we decided to eat at 8:00 in the morning?
Was it Chick-fil-A breakfast? It's whoever would feed us.
I thought it was. So normally we eat Chick-fil-A, but I thought it was something weird. I thought it was like Subway.
It might have been Subway.
But it could have been Chick-fil-A. Actually, so it's funny. They called the one Chick-fil-A breakfast meal the Rob because it was a double chicken biscuit. I'm like, hey, can I get a double chicken biscuit? And they're like, I mean, how fat do you want to be? And I'm like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, sure. And then so other people would go and be like, hey, can I get the Rob?
Yeah. And like, hey, you think you Zoomers have a zero fucks given attitude towards things. We're the original.
Yeah.
Jesus
We're the
Christ.
original.
Yeah,
we started
this
that
happened to us first.
But anyway, so Poopageddon won. I'm pretty sure it was Subway because there was something just off.
I was pretty hungover. I don't really remember.
But it might have been Chick-fil-A. But so we decided to get we for some reason we like ran into each other. I'm like, yo, do you want to grab food before we go open? You're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. I want to kill myself.
Probably because if you've ever been in the King of Prussia Mall, there's maintenance tunnels everywhere. They're like they're fucking everywhere, and it's like catacombs. I was in one of them smashing a beer, and Rob probably walked by me. So
we were immensely hungover from the night before. I forget what the fuck we were doing, but so anyway, we eat, and it's basically lunch. It's basically lunch or dinner for breakfast, and then I don't know, bro. I don't know how it happened to you or when it hit you, but it was like maybe an hour or two later. We open the store, it's busy, and all of a sudden you get that. And I'm like, man, I wonder if I gotta take a shit. And I have never been in my entire life on the toilet so many times in one day. Like at that point, your butthole is chafed. You know, I mean, you're just pooping like it's just water. Like there's water coming out. I'm pretty sure it was food poisoning. Yeah, except that I wasn't throwing up. I was just pooping it.
It was absolutely food poisoning. I like.
But you remember what I'm talking about, right?
No, I went home early that day. Like I left. I fucking left. Well, what's his face showed up, and I forget that weird fucking guy.
Kia, our regional.
No, it was a guy who worked there. It was like the assistant manager of the store. Showed up, and I was like, "Oh, Jared, that was his name."
Oh, Jared, he was a fucking weirdo. Did he become like a store manager at some point?
Yeah,
like,
I don't really know.
And then he got fired because he was doing coke and he was bleeding or something.
Yeah, he was like a Mormon. He was Mormon. That was other Jared.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
No, there was two, but you're not wrong. The guy you're thinking his name was Justin, but no, Jared.
Justin, that's what it was.
That was the guy upstairs. And he got there and he's like, "You don't look good." And I'm like, "I'm gonna shit my pants." Like literally, completely unfounded. Like this.
Do you have a diaper?
Yeah, no. Like I've been working there for like 6 days or something. Like it was that soon into working at that place. And he just looks at me. He's like, "Do you want to go home?" I'm like, "I'm gonna shit my pants." So, yeah, I got home and it was a bad time.
I never forgot that day, and I felt bad because I was working with Jeff, and I'm like, "Jeff, I gotta poop." He's like, "Bro, you were just in there 2 minutes ago." I'm like, I think at this point, whatever's coming out is either water or blood.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know what happened, dude, but and I'm sure part of it was because we were drinking the night before till whenever. Yeah. But whatever we ate did not equate to whatever the fuck we were doing.
No, it was probably something with mayonnaise on it. It immediately hit our stomachs. It just curdled.
Dude, I'll never forget that day, man.
It was a bad time.
Oh my god. So, let's get into like why we're here.
Oh yeah,
right?
hey, 50 minutes in.
Yeah. So you are a newer streamer to Twitch.
Brand new streamer. And technically I stream on YouTube too, but
YouTube.
I haven't actually put any work into that.
Well, you could actually dual stream. So
I use Restream. I do both. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I do that with so I have Streamlabs OBS, and I'll dual stream between Twitch and YouTube. So your Twitch name is Leftovermeme.
Yep.
You're looking to kind of cement your affiliate status.
Yeah, I should be there shortly, but it's fun how I got there. Would you mind if I told the people?
No, not at all. So like talk about like what games you like to stream.
Yeah.
You know, how you got there and like what your overall, goals are for your channel.
So, recently I stopped working for a whole bunch of reasons. I have like some health problems I'm dealing with, and
You also worked at like a nuclear
I
power
worked at a nuclear
plant.
power plant.
So...
I worked. I don't. If anyone knows what a DuPont schedule is, it's where you work like 3 days, have like a couple of days off, then work 4 nights, and then have a couple of days off, and you work 4 days and have a couple of days. It sucked. It's a cop shift.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, and it tends to break your brain real bad. But I had like issues before that, and all it did was compound them real bad. So being like a veteran, I took a lot of these problems to the VA. So now I have time on my hands. So my wife is an orthopedic nurse, and so I've just been playing dad at home, which I am not complaining about even a little tiny bit. So
well, your wife and kid are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
we would love them.
He's losing his first tooth today, like live on stream. He's out there. She's trying to get out of this one.
So he's probably fucking livid right now. Dad, where the fuck are you?
Yeah. We'll see.
Come in.
After this, I'm gonna have to run over to Walmart and get him like a tooth fairy present or something.
Oh, stop! You're fine, bro. Just get that bottle of booze back there and do what they did to us when we were kids and just kind of rub it on his tooth. Yeah. You're fine.
No, like
see how we turned out. We turned out fine.
There's definitely no mental health problems here. But I found myself with all this time recently. Yeah. So I tried streaming one day and I did all right. I got 2-3 people coming in there, and I wanted to stream the new, well, not the new, but the classic WoW Wrath of the Lich King's coming out, and it's my favorite expansion. I think it's Rob, it's yours too.
It's hands down the best WoW expansion.
Hands down. The raid tiers were there, the fun stuff was there, a lot of the systems were flushed out, and it's like the last of that era of WoW, and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna be playing it, but I decided to do a fresh start server. There's only 2. There's a PvP and a PvE one, and everyone wants to play PvP, and the queues are like 10,000 long, so it's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. So I'm like, well, I really don't feel like sitting here waiting for this. I'll just stream that. So I've been streaming the queues for the past like 3 or 4 days, and lo and behold, 2 or 3 streams from now, I'm going to be an affiliate. Go figure.
That's awesome.
Go figure.
Congrats.
I don't know how that fucking happened, but now I'm gonna, because I'm so close, I'm gonna like take it actually seriously. And I think what I'll be doing is I have to like develop a schedule and everything, but I'm probably going to do like a split day on the day I stream. So I'll stream for like 4 hours, go get my kid, do dinner, put him to bed, and then like 8-9 o'clock come back and stream for another couple hours. I'm thinking I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then a day on the weekend. But the day on the weekend will be like a flex day. So
it's important to have a schedule.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Important.
I just don't have it all worked out yet. Because I got up today and got like the VIP thing, and I can do VODs and shit now, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's dumb. That's so fucking dumb. Really? So we'll see how it all works out. But I have high hopes for it, and you know what? Even if it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna keep doing it because I actually really viscerally enjoy it. And fun, like I think I said this earlier, but this is like my first time on like camera too. I never had a camera before, so I had to set up like all of this shit.
I love your setup, dude.
It is nice. Setup. Like I took these from our hot tub. And like all the crazy shit I have over here, and I think like that's gonna be like a big thing is people don't want to just watch the video game; they want to like see something interesting behind you.
Entertainment value,
right?
Entertainment value for sure.
Because I'm gonna change it up constantly, and that's gonna be my shtick. Is like everything's gonna always be a little bit different. But as far as games, I'm gonna stream obviously when the queues get lower, World of Warcraft. But I want to do.
Well,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Before you get into it, so we'll talk about the games you're gonna stream, but let's ask the difficult question.
Sure.
So, what is gonna make you different from the average streamer? Like, what type of entertainment value could you add? And I know that because I know you're a fucking funny ass dude. Yeah. And I've been around you all my life, at this point, my adult life. But tell the viewers, like, what are you going to add that's going to be a little bit different? And I think that's important. Obviously, World of Warcraft is it's not like a Call of Duty or a Valorant or one of those games.
Fortnite or whatever. What's Fortnite?
It's mainstream, but it's not. It's not as mainstream. So, what could you add to that that's going to make people want to join in?
So, first off, I'm here to have fun. I really am.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers. Fuck yeah. I'm here to have fun, and I want everyone who comes into my stream to have fun as well. I really want to do, and I know this isn't unique or anything, but excuse me, community-based games is what I find to be really, really fun. So like I love to stream and play games with my audience. So I mean, World of Warcraft is kind of hyper specific, but like Fall Guys, I'd like to play some Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty. Maybe I'll try Valorant. I don't know, but I'm not going to.
Listen, hold on. Yeah. If you ever want to play Valorant, you better fucking call me, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will call you.
I'm pretty good at the game. That's my shit. We can co-stream.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm down. Yeah.
I'll teach you how to play.
Yeah, there will be a learning curve. Do not go into ranked matches with me for a while.
Dude, I've never played a game like Valorant in my life. It's very aim-based. And you know me, I've played a million different types of games. It's the one game I found I'm really good at.
Really?
But it's you have to put in the time. It's Tasha fucking makes fun of me all the time because I practice. She's like, what the fuck are you practicing for a game for? But it really is. It's about just playing and getting better.
Yeah.
So like you'll start the game and I look at videos from June of 2020 when the game came out and I'm awful compared to now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is night and day.
Yeah.
And you just have to just play. It's weird. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not like any other game. It's obviously with CS:GO. CS:GO's very popular.
I used to be very good at, by the way.
If you're good at CS:GO,
back in the day, I was ridiculously good. CS:GO and TF2. I was really, really good at both those games.
A lot of your aim will translate well with Valorant. The difference with Valorant though and CS:GO is that Valorant has powers and abilities.
Okay.
So it's almost like CS:GO meets Overwatch.
So it's like class-based. It's a class-based non-canonical shooter.
Yeah, so like you there's certain things like there's a sentinel, there's a duelist, there's a controller.
Yeah.
So everyone and there's 2 or 3 characters that play their different roles. And if you're good with those, it just makes the game different. So it could be a very toxic game, like
absolutely.
League of Legends. Apparently, it's the most toxic game.
League of Legends is still one of the highest streaming games in the industry, in esports. Yeah, that and Dota too. But it is toxic AF, motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah,
but but that's kind of like if you ever want to play it, let me know.
Yeah, I'll break you off a night every once in a while.
We can play unrated. We could dual stream if you want.
Yeah.
It's a fun game, and once you get the concept and once you learn a bit, like it's crazy, like where you can go with it,
right?
Right.
But here's the.
But go ahead. Sorry.
No. Here's the one thing about it. So like that's a very like hyper serious game. Like people compete in that fucking game, and it's not.
You should see my heart rate when I play, bro. Like if I wear a heart rate sensor,
I'll take an extra blood pressure med.
It's 100 plus. Because you get into clutch situations, it's 1v2 or whatever, and you can easily win it.
Oh, so
but dude, it gets like
it's like Rainbow Six then, like where you get into those situations real easily.
Oh, dude, it gets like heart pounding, like dude, it's hard to explain, man. But when you win, it's exhilarating.
I used to play PUBG back when that was super popular.
Yeah,
and I played that, and I played the mobile version as well. At the nuclear power plant, because I had nothing better to do. we had a whole crew. We had a whole crew of dudes that would just play it all the time. But I play the actual game. It's actually gaining popularity again. But back in the day, it was like super fucking popular. And you would get into these situations where you're laying in a field for 15 minutes with a ghillie suit on, and you won't see anybody. It's you and like 1 or 2 other guys, and you have like 3 rounds in your rifle, and you're like fuck, until another guy.
You get a Car 98.
Yeah, or just whatever you have left. Like it happens sometimes. And like the one time I'm sitting there and I don't see anybody. It's me versus somebody else, and it's just like who moves first. And this guy just happened to walk right in front of me. I pulled out my fucking crowbar and just slammed him right in the fucking dome. That guy must have been pissed. But
yeah, PUBG is where I got. Well, I went PUBG, Apex Legends, and then I got into Valorant. But PUBG is, I mean, still to this day, dude. I mean, skill wise, I mean, it is exhilarating when you get that chicken winner chicken dinner.
Yeah. But Um, I don't think I'll ever do like. I don't know if I will. It depends. I'll play. You know what? I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal
Yeah.
right now. I'll play it with you, and if I can get into it and I'm halfway decent at it, I'll jump in that game with you. But the point is, the minute it becomes not entertaining, I don't want to do
Yeah.
it anymore. So
It's stressful.
yeah,
It's stressful.
in like there's entertainment in the stress. Don't get me wrong, because
Yeah.
the heart rate is like it's like real. But like things that I want to stream like just for the fuck of it, I want to get drunk and play Fall Guys. I want to do modded Among Us lobbies, which you're always welcome to join me on any of that stuff.
I'm happy. I've done all those,
The-
and I've gotten pretty wasted. And actually, at one point, I did. I got so drunk. I did. I have a robbery tonight. If you'd be happy to join, if you'd like.
I'm going to probably join that. Amazing.
It's a cup of tequila,
Yeah.
half a cup of triple sec alcohol, and some lime juice,
Jesus Christ.
and I get. That's one.
Good.
You're not allowed. If you have 3 or more, you're gonna black out.
Yeah.
So 2 is typically a brownout. And I've done those on stream. The one time I got so drunk after I had 3, I was gambling. I was playing roulette online. I got up. Stream was still on. Everybody was still watching me. I think I had 10 or 15 viewers. I left everything on. I took my pants off and I just passed the fuck in my bed. I had at 7 a.m. My buddies are like, "Bro, are you alive?" Tasha's like, "Are you okay?"
It was still
oh
going,
yeah, dude. It was my whole stream was still on. It was bad.
That's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. Well, yeah, let's have some fun like that. I mean, here's a concept I want to throw by you is toxic bad MMO night where we all just make an MMO character. I did this actually. Half of my stream. I forget. I played a bunch of games on my first stream, but one of them, my buddy Terry calls me. He's like, "Hey, I see you're streaming. You want to play something gross?" And I was like, "Always." So he's like, "Go on Steam and download Chimera Land. It is 100% the worst MMO, but in the best way possible. I think it has like 67 races that you can play.
What?
Yeah. No, go check it out. I'm 100% serious, and it is just the slowest, most dog shit piece of game on the planet, but it is so much fun just to play with the character creator. I made a catfish toddler with vomit coming out of his nose, and I called him Moist. So, like streaming games like that to me is a lot of fun. And just literally, it's in the title of the channel. It's a meme. It's a leftover meme.
Yeah.
But I will stream serious stuff as well, just because there's an audience for it, and I think I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. But I want people to come there to laugh, not to necessarily like come there for the gameplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely, I get it. And like, so when it comes to your streaming career, obviously you want to do your own thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's important. What about your podcast? So I know that you have a podcast. I wanted to make sure I mentioned it.
Okay.
And tell the viewers a little bit about what you do with your podcast and where people can find it and what maybe some topics are and stuff like that.
So a friend of mine came to me, I think it's 2.5, almost 3 years ago now, with an idea. It is a friend of mine from the Army, and his son had just been born. He was going through a lot of depression and anxiety, and he
Can only imagine.
He didn't feel
Honestly.
good about himself, because what he was dealing with, a lot of medical issues from the military, and it was keeping him home from work, and he was just having a hard time. And he's like, I have this imposter syndrome, that tells me I can't do what I need to do, and I'm not good enough to do it. And I'm like, okay, do you want to talk about it? What do you want to talk about? He's like, yeah, but I want to do it in like a public forum. I'm like, okay, well, what did you have in mind? He's like, would you start a podcast with me? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And we started this podcast, to support each other, but in reality, we get like 4 or 5 episodes into it, and other fathers are coming to us and saying, "Hey, this is the exact message I needed. Thank you so much." And it really projected from there. So the podcast is literally called Fearless Fathers.
That's awesome.
And we cover a whole wide range of shit. There's like 300 episodes now. But the other thing Dave does is my partner in that podcast. He actually does interviews with industry professionals and just regular dads. So one day we'll be interviewing a PhD about a specific mental disorder, and the next day Jeff from Walmart is talking about how hard it is being a single father. So it's really a really wide spectrum thing. It's pretty cool. And it's an opinion based podcast that we try to dispel stigmas of fatherhood, like the stigma of like you got to be the big macho man and you got to be the fucking Sigma. None of that happens here. It's a fun place where people can just be themselves, and we try to project that. It's just saying, hey, obviously somebody wanted to have a fucking kid with you, so you're capable of being a good person. So do it. And like that's the big message is just to say, hey man, be the best father you could possibly be, and be the best person you can be. That person can definitely coexist and doesn't have to be two different people. So
that's fucking awesome, dude. And I gotta tell you, thank you. I really thank you for your for you and him for serving. I think that's important to recognize, and you guys are helping people. There's a lot of people out there, and look, I didn't serve. My fiance, her dad and her mom served, and they have plenty of issues. Especially as parents. Honestly,
it's not easy. It's really
it's not, and that stuff can carry over into your kids. So I think for you, it's important to be able to go out there and do these podcasts and talk to industry professionals, as well as kind of get those things out there to other dads that are struggling. And that's cool, man. Yeah. I honestly, I appreciate what you guys are doing.
It's funny you should mention that, because that's actually an episode coming up. I don't know. It's like a month or two. It's slated out because we do a batch recording. So we'll do like 3 months in like 3 days for a bunch of stuff, and then just kind of like ride it out and do all our marketing and stuff.
See, I need to do that. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants.
No, we did that for a year. You do that because you're getting used to your voice, and you're doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
You're doing very well. But it's funny you should mention that with her parents, because it's called generational trauma, and it's a real thing. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's a gigantic problem, especially in the police, firefighting, EMT, paramedic, and armed forces communities. And we talked to this guy, I want to say it was like 2 months ago, but we're doing a whole, like, we might even do a 2-part episode on it. Yeah, we haven't figured out exactly how long it's going to be. But we talked to him, and he was like, hey, this is how it happens. And, military service creates, imbalances in your brain and things like that, causes behavioral issues. And then how do you think, like, it transfers to your kid? So, like, my father was in the military too. And I didn't do him any favors.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, he was in the Navy for a while. And it didn't do him any favors either. And like, that's how you get military children. So like family people, because they think it's like the only way, and it's we'll go into it more in the podcast, but it's like a humongous issue. And the armed forces are starting to talk about it in a huge way and being like, oh, okay, we have to fix X, Y, and Z, or the next generation of people that do this are going to have some big fucking problems.
I mean, they have to, right?
No,
I mean,
like, have to. Yeah.
It really affects how you operate. And like, Tasha's, from a family perspective, like, my family is more her family than her family, and that's not okay.
Yeah. I get that.
And there's nothing, it's not like her parents are terrible people, but I feel like, when you're, you get to a certain point in your life, and then that kind of, when you display those things to your kids, that just kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It's wild. It's a crazy phenomenon, you know.
And you're talking to somebody who's caught himself doing it. By the way, I've absolutely done it, and I hate to say that, but like it's really possible. Like the way you would react to what my son's 5 is kind of very similar how you'd react to a completely unsupervised 19-year-old with an assault rifle. Like it's the same. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like that shit like that. And you have to catch yourself, validate their feelings, being like, I'm sorry, and then apologize profusely. And then you have to have a conversation. A year and a half ago, I didn't do stuff like that. So
see, though, it's different now, though, because you got to remember, right? We're more of a progressive generation.
I would say.
I mean,
yeah.
Think about we're talking about our families who grew up in Tasha's parents are a little bit older. They grew up in the 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different of a time then compared to now, and how you handled your kids. They didn't think about the psychological aspect, and they had them later in life. I mean, they had them in like 39 or 40 age, which is late to have kids.
I mean, so. I thought it was. I had my son at 30, and I thought that was late. And I tell myself every week, I'm like, no, I understand why people fucking have kids at 20 because you're exhausted. All the time.
Yeah. It's
all the
crazy,
time.
Man.
No, it's absolutely crazy.
We're gonna stick to dogs.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier, and I could put them in crates, and it's not inhumane.
Yeah, they're where they left them too. So there's that.
Yeah.
Kevin decided. Kevin decided it's my son's first week of school last week, and he decided to wander off the playground and just start walking away.
Right. He's like, "Yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want."
Yeah,
bro.
No, that's exactly what it was. And you get the phone call from the teacher, and you gotta we have a fucking meeting about it, and we're just like, yeah. It's gonna be a good week. I'll put it to you that week. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah.
Well, we're getting a little long.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, dude, I knew this was gonna go longer than my others because me and you are friends.
Yeah.
We have a lot of history. It's always fun to talk about. So, tell the listeners, where can we find all your stuff online, your streaming, and your podcast. I think that everybody should, especially listen to your podcast, especially if you're a veteran.
Well, especially if
there's a lot of value to that for sure.
If you're a father,
and a veteran,
well, I mean, if you're a veteran, we make a lot of vet jokes that fly over a lot of people's heads, but you will get them. You will absolutely get them, especially because me and Dave were both field artillerymen, so we're like field guy, like in the field dudes, like line guys, and we don't give a fuck. But we host service with Podbean, so we're on everything.
Awesome.
What is it called now? The Apple one, Google,
Spotify.
We're everywhere. You can find us literally if you use a podcast service, we'll be on it. And it is literally just Fearless Space Fathers. And you'll see the double F symbol.
Awesome.
And there's actually I have another one. I have another podcast coming out shortly. It's going to be called Knowledgeaholics, which, by the way, you're more than welcome to come on, Dave. I mean, Dave, Rob. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You've been drinking just like me.
Yeah. You can see how rosy my cheeks are getting.
It's my favorite thing about you, man.
I did a number on that. But it's literally very similar to this show. Except basically we have like one of those big pinwheels in the background, and every week we spin it, and it just comes up with a random topic for we have to research and do the next week, and then we get drunk on air and talk about it. And that's what we do for like an hour. Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Nice, I like it.
We just did werewolves and lycanthropy. I can't pronounce it to save my life. So if you want to hear stuff like that, that will be out in 2 months because we batch record that one too. So,
awesome, dude. Well, good. So, you got a lot of shit. Going on.
By all means, yeah.
Hey, listen. I appreciate you hanging out. It's been a while since we got to kind of like sit and talk, and we got a lot of history. I think you should come back at some point. I'd like to have like a as I get through this and kind of batch out the episodes, I like to have people come back.
Oh, absolutely.
And talk about shit. Talk about shit we didn't get a chance to talk about.
There's a lot.
We still have so much, and I have so many questions over here I didn't get to, and I'm like, but we're at an hour and 13 minutes. I'm like, we should probably save it.
Sorry.
But thank you for coming on. If you guys want to check out my podcast, it's called Drink O'Clock Podcast. I'm available everywhere you can imagine. Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever. Also, I'll post. So originally, I was posting whole episodes on YouTube, but apparently, when you render things, it takes like 3, 4, 5 hours to do, even if you have a really good computer.
Yeah.
And most people aren't going to sit there for an hour to listen. So I'll probably change my YouTube a little bit. I'm probably going to go more clips, and I am going to start a TikTok as well. And it'll be called Drink O'Clock Pod.
Drink a cock, huh?
Yeah. Bro, too many shots of this shit, motherfucker. So yeah, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out all our socials, and I hope you guys have a great night.
I don't have them all yet. I'll have them. Make sure I'll give them to you so you can put them in the title card.
I can do that.
All right, beautiful. Oh, hey, I'm still fighting with somebody over the YouTube name. So the YouTube name is Leftovermemes with an S. So that might change. We'll see here, but just so you're aware. Yeah,
I ran into that too with my fucking max ABV. Someone has without the underscore, and it's the only person that has it, and they've never streamed. So you know, people can be fucking assholes.
Yeah. Well, I sent the guy a message, and he's like, "Oh, maybe," and I was like,
"Yeah, fuck you, guy.
Help me out." So,
but all right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
All right, see you later.
Thanks for listening to the Drink O'Clock podcast. It's closing time. Until next time, bottoms up, people. And we'll see you next time.